In this video, we're going to check out the Rayneo Air 4 Pro's AR glasses. Now, these are going to be in the custom Justice Edition, which essentially is like the Batman edition. There's a Chaos Edition version of them as well, also limited, and that's going to be the Joker Edition, providing us a unique accessories, but also a unique experience of unboxing and a lot of the customizations put into the glasses. But at its core, this is going to be an HDR10 supporting pair of AR glasses, also 120 Hertz, AI 3D customization options to be able to convert 2D to 3D content, as well as the ability to enjoy 3D content on these devices. So without further ado, these are the Rayneo AR glasses. These are the Air 4 Pros in Justice Edition. Let's check them out and see what makes them so special. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. You already saw this at the beginning of the video. We have the Batman logo on the top of the box. Obviously, this is the Justice Edition. If you scroll a little bit down or kind of just flip it over, there's the DC logo in here. Of course, we have a really nice, beautiful Batman. And of course, you can get the bats flying out of it, which really done very nicely. And it is actually a little bit raised from the material that we have in here. On the right side, we have AR glasses, obviously, and this is the Rayneo logo. On the left side, Air 4 Pro. This is the model that we're looking at in here again. This is the latest edition that they have, again, in the Justice Edition. And the last big thing that I do want to mention to you guys is that the sound here is tuned by Bang & Olufsen, so it provides us an actually better improved experience over the previous generations. Opening box, we're greeted directly with the glasses, Batman, Rayneo, of course, a very nice, good, sturdy case. Opening it up, you get access again, more logos in here, Warner Brothers, and of course Batman and DC. The glasses do have the Batman logo on them. The Chaos one will obviously have the one from Joker. The collapse itself, or actually closes on this side. You have the Batman logo sitting on this end as well. And of course, additional accessories when you tilt the case a little bit up. Now, first things first, obviously, we'll take a look at them. This is the mask for Batman. Of course, we have the Batman logo. There's an additional thing here. If you just lift it up, you'll notice there's some instructions here and additional paperwork providing you some additional experiences. We'll talk about these accessories. But this essentially is a replacement cover for the glasses. Now, one thing you obviously know, a lot of these glasses from Rayneo come with a what I would call a privacy screen that clips onto the front part of the glass. And we actually now have an accessory that's the additional one. This one is the Batman edition with the eyes lit up. And of course, this mounts right on top. Provides the same experience, but again, in more of a custom edition. In the pouch, we have a nice cleaning cloth, information booklet, of course, and additional information on how to use the glasses and some of the unique features. Next thing, obviously, we're going to be taking a look at the inserts. If you do need prescription glasses, they do provide you with the frame. You'll be able to get your own prescriptions, put them in there, and then you can mount them directly. As you can see here, there's a mount and a specific area that you'll be able to put this on. And these go on the inside in front of the actual lenses. On the side here, we have an additional replacement nose tips. There's ones already installed on it. And we have a beautiful, nice bat stand that gives us the ability of customizing, or at least putting the bat mask when you're not using it. So it looks really nice, very clean. When you're using it, obviously, you still have the bat symbol here, which is very nice. A very nice little kickstand in here that you can use to make the experience even more unique. So even when you're not using them, they still look menacing, and they just have that Dark Knight energy coming out of them. Last thing, obviously, we have here, which is also a unique experience. These are called the Rayneo's sound tubes. These are accessories provided to the glasses that allows us to actually tunnel the sound from the speakers on the bottom firing speaker part of them. The top one's still actually firing upwards. It goes directly on the inside. It does not have the right and left area here. And it actually opens up and pushes the audio directly into our ear, providing us an even more personal experience. And also not having to actually go 100% on the volume when you're using them. They're closed off on the other side. And of course, you just mount them on the side of the actual glasses, and they actually become part of the glasses when you're using them. So when you get them out of the actual case, it's pretty straightforward. We have in there a USB-C to C case. We are using a standard USB-C case. And of course, the case itself can be put aside when you're using them. The USB-C cable that has the glasses logo sitting in here, you can kind of see that right there. This one will go into the side of the glasses. This will always go on the right arm. So if you open up the glasses, this is basically where you connect them. They click, they're very nice and very sturdy. You have no problem keeping them on there. The glasses themselves are very similar to the existing design that we've had, the last generation of these. Overall, very nice, very lightweight, and not very uncomfortable to wear for an extended amount of time to watch content or even to use them for productivity. Speakers configuration here, we have the top area here on the top right as well as the top left. The arms are still, let's go ahead and do this, and this always kind of makes me feel weird, but you can hear adjustable, so there's a three-step adjustment here on the right and on the left to get these to fit the best way. The Batman symbol is positioned here on the right arm. Obviously you can see here Bang & Olufsen, this is for the audio tuning. Flipping it a little bit lower, we see the bottom firing speaker. On the right arm, or essentially is the left arm when you're wearing them, you have the Rayneo logo. We have obviously the volume rocker as well as the menu button and also the selection button that we have. Another bottom firing speaker, and of course on the top very much a mirrored experience to what we have on the other side. The glasses themselves have a nice little cover. These are the Rayneo shades that come with the glasses automatically. So when you're using them without them, you actually have more of a transparent look, meaning you can actually see through the glasses and the displays that you're looking into here. Now we have 2.6-inch displays. These are called SIA micro OLED screens that are positioned right in front of our eyes. And that gives us the ability of enjoying that large display that Rayneo is giving us. The HDR10 support with that 120 Hertz refresh rate up to 1200 nits, of course. And of course, the ability of doing 2D to 3D built in with the Vision 4000 display chip that they're using in here for their experience. Now that's not supported on every device, but it definitely, well, let's go ahead and adjust the arm one more time. I think I just may have adjusted it out. Here we are. And that's going to be available on select devices, and the list for that will be on their website. But when you want to use them with the glasses, of course, the Batman edition version, it's pretty straightforward. You just need to mount it first at the top. And just like that, the glasses get that covering. Although in my personal experience, I feel like that the actual cover, the Batman Edition cover, provides a little bit better, maybe light leaking from the side experience when you're using it, because it is much bigger overall. But when you're using this, obviously, there is no lighting effect that comes through. The white cover that we have, or the white color in here, is primarily for aesthetics. But they look absolutely great. Again, if you're using them, depending on who's sitting next to you, you can definitely see the Batman logo with the actual glasses themselves used. And when you're not using them, just basically take them off the same way, and you can use the existing shades. Obviously, in the carrying case, only the smaller of the two shades will be used. So I think they're probably intending for us to travel more with the more minimalistic look here. I do apologize for the fingerprints here. Of course, for the full experience, when you go in custom edition, you definitely want to be able to use the Batman cover. So we talked about the processing. We talked about the audio experience. We have obviously 360 audio experience as well. Bang & Olufsen tuning here that we have built in here. There's also whisper mode, which is something that we've seen from Rayneo in the past, which allows us to reduce sound leakage so that people sitting next to you don't hear the music or the audio that you're listening to. Connection is always going to be via USB-C, so this is going to be pretty straightforward. There is no battery built into this, so there's no worry about actually using or having to recharge them. They do draw power directly from your smartphone or device connected to it. So depending on what you're using, you may be able to charge that device at the same time as using it, so your experience will vary depending on what you're looking in there. As far as the ergonomics of it, features, again, we talked about the flexible arms in here, so that's something to keep in mind. And overall, just general weight, in case you want to know, it's about 76 grams overall for everything in here. So it's really, really nice. And again, very much straightforward. Android, iOS, PC, Mac, compatible with almost everything. Not all features will work on everything, but it definitely has a lot of compatibility, which is really nice. Wearing them is pretty straightforward. Again, you just put the sunshade here or the cover in here, disconnect, or actually not disconnect, connect the cable, which is basically what you want to do. And then from there, you can go connect it to multiple devices. So I'll go ahead and put in front of you a couple of the devices that I've been using. So here we have the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, and this is obviously the iPhone 17 Pro. I also have my S26 Ultra, which I've been using for DeX compatibility. I've been also using it with a Legion Go gaming system, as well as my Mac. And this is obviously going to shape the experience of what you can do with them. Now, to be able to get the full benefit of these glasses, obviously, there's also another way of using them, which is using the app. This is the Rayneo XR app, available directly to download from the Apple Store, but download directly from the Rayneo Store to be able to download this current version of this. The only version available in the Google Play Store is the Rayneo AR app, which does not support them. Once you have them in here, you're able to jump into the XR space. Also, one of the other things you want to be able to wear here, as you could do here, is customize the settings that are also available on the on-display settings. So you can change the refresh rate, you can change the image mode. Now we have here a standard, movie, and eye protection. Obviously, movie will be an experience here. You can see a little bit of a preview what the color tuning is going to be. The dynamic quality here, you can go in between SDR, AI mode, and of course HDR10, which is coming soon to smartphones. It is natively supported directly within the actual on-screen menu. One thing to keep in mind is your device and your glasses need to support it. So having HDR10 turned on your glasses and not on the device doesn't also automatically provide you that higher quality. The AI HDR will probably work the best for you guys, and you can go in between those two. Now, one thing to mention is that you can switch between 120 and 60 frames per second or 60 Hertz in those two modes that you're looking into. So you can change them between the two, but you can't change that into HDR10. HDR10 disables those options in here, but again, everything looks so much better there. Audio mode, again, tuned by Bang & Olufsen. Audio mode, we have standard mode, we have whisper mode, and we also have surround mode, which gives you more of that stage presence. Whisper mode is what reduces the sound leakage and gives you more of a personal experience. And this is where you definitely want to be able to use these sound tubes to be able to get the audio directly into your ears and more of that personal experience. Last but not least, this is also how you'd be able to update the software on this. Current version is in here. There is no additional new update to this. This is running the latest one. So if there is any update sent out by Rayneo, this would be how you'd update them directly within the application. And I'm pretty sure you've been waiting since the beginning of this video to be able to see how do they look on you when you're wearing them. So the overall experience, what you're getting here is very much the standard Rayneo class experience. You're getting that privacy experience in here. There is a little bit of a reflection when you're wearing them, that there's a lot of light around you that reflects with the bottom reflectors. So right now, like, although I'm looking at them and the image is really nice and crisp, because of the way my studio lights are reflecting downwards on me, I can kind of see a little bit of a reflection here. And then of course, to get the best experience, you want to be in a slightly dimmer experience in here. Again, very straightforward. They mount on very quickly, very simply. If you want to use them with the standard shades, very much the exact same experience here. Just make sure you put them on the bottom and you get that same experience. Again, just for more of reiterating, I feel like this blocks a little bit more light because of the way it's designed. It has more sides to block more entering light. Although that reflection, as I told you guys just a second ago, where I can see the bottom part here, my legs and my shirt, that's still present here, but the image itself is very nice. Adjusting the brightness is on the right side, adjusting the volume is on the left side, and then of course the on-screen menu goes in. All of the options that I showed you directly within the app are on screen and they're customizable, and you can definitely change the experiences in there. And then from there, you can just plug it into your favorite device. Now, for my experiences, what I've been testing this with, obviously, is I want to be able to see the experiences of using this for productivity, for content consumption, and of course, for enjoying, obviously, playing games on my systems. So I took my Legion Go system here and I plugged it in directly. And what I like about it is that the new systems from Lenovo provide us the ability of having 2 USB-C ports, which means we're not draining the battery only directly from the system to be able to power the glasses, because again, they don't use those, they don't have built-in batteries. So you can actually charge your system while you're playing and still enjoy this for an extended amount of time, which is absolutely great. Turning on 120 Hertz refresh rate mode there, and of course going into the right video mode if you want to go standard. I feel like for gaming, I stuck with standard. Movie was obviously for movie consumption. So for most of the time, I stayed in the standard mode. And of course from there, eye comfort is, I would probably say, is if you're sitting in bed and you want to enjoy some content, I feel like that's where eye comfort comes in. There, very straightforward, plugged it in, turned on 120, and the gaming experience was absolutely great. The only thing I probably would say, if you've never used glasses like these before, is that you need to get used to not looking down at your controllers or your gaming system, because the display is right in front of you. But the projection of these images are so nice and so bright and so clear and very nice and crisp there as far as the quality of the image. So definitely very simple, very easy. You can watch content with that as well, regardless of what system. Again, I used it with my iPhone, I used it with my Android devices, and of course I have more Android devices than iPhones, so this is like the 17 Pro is primarily for testing purposes. But again, works great. The XR app is available directly from the App Store, and it works just the same. For the 2D to 3D content consumption here, this is where it gets a little bit, I would probably say, a little bit tricky. You do need to use that XR app to get that functionality turned on. Your iPhone natively does support some spatial content. You can actually play things there. So once you install the app, activate it, and then load up your, I would say, locally stored content. It's not connected to the cloud, so we're not streaming content. You'll be able to enjoy that very, very nicely and activate spatial. If you record it on your iPhone or on your Android device, you'll be able to enjoy those contents very nicely. And if conversely, the 3D option is the side-by-side recorded videos, you just need to activate that mode. AI, I would say the AI 3D option that they have in there isn't supported on every device. I found that it's supported on the iPhone right now, and there's a list available on their website for more compatibility, so your usage may go further than there. But other than that, I think I ended up also enjoying it a lot with my MacBook Pro to be able to enjoy content as well as productivity. And what I mean by this is, as you can imagine, I'm editing videos. I'm actually going to be editing this video on my MacBook, which is something that I typically do, and I'm always mobile. One of my things that I always appreciate about this type of technology, specifically like what we're getting here with the Rayneo Air 4 Pros, is the ability of getting that large display in a very confined experience. So if you're sitting on an airplane, you're sitting in a library, I don't have to pop up a monitor. I don't have to put in additional monitors to my MacBook. That one single monitor on there, on top of the fact that I can mirror an additional display and put my feed, what I like to call is my playback feed, directly there, I actually get the chance to see exactly what I'm doing, and I can still control everything with my keyboard and mouse very nicely. So that works absolutely great. It's been working for many, many years, and one of the things that gravitates me to this technology is what we can do there. The second thing, obviously, is the HDR10 support. It does have native HDR10 support on the glasses. Your player has to also support, and the content that you're playing has to also support HDR10. So it's kind of a weird situation. It's kind of like a loop. You can't just have the glasses turn on HDR10 and then suddenly everything sounds and looks better. It actually needs to have the source of the data support that technology. And I found that it worked the best for me on my MacBook Pro when I was watching content, and it actually played that. I can see the difference between SDR, HDR, and obviously HDR10, which is the 3 steps that we're going in here. Again, overall, the experience is beautiful, very nice, and I love the fact that they're supported in here. I can't wait to see more support for those available on other things, and I enjoyed watching content, specifically in the recent time. I don't know if you guys saw that, but where the Artemis 2, which is actually basically going into space, and then they start sending in some of those images, we start seeing some content coming in from space. It's really nice to be able to see that spatial experience and just watching space content. And of course, I always enjoy content from NASA, so if you haven't had a chance, make sure to check out all those images, video contents, and everything that they've actually sent back, and they're starting to post up on the socials. But from there, I kind of switched it over to, again, just using them with my device, because one of the things that I love about Samsung is their DeX mode. Now, DeX mode works wired and wirelessly, but when wired, which is exactly what we're using here, and I really enjoy the fact that we have that PC-like experience built into a smartphone that now can be leveraged on our glasses. And again, basically what ends up happening is that my display ends up becoming my basically large mouse that I can control everything. And now I have a beautiful large display using all of that, the space, of course, for the right thing, multi-window multitasking. We can run multiple applications at the same time. A PC experience on the go directly on our device. And again, lastly, if you want to be able to use it with your Windows system, it's pretty much the same thing. Just plug and play, use it there, and get all the experiences directly from the glasses. I love the fact that everything is built in. The menu system is very straightforward, very clean. Regardless if you end up being the Batman edition or the Joker edition or even the standard edition, all of the features that I share with you guys, with the exception of the customizations on the outside, the aesthetic customizations that we have in here, are very much the exact same experience. So for the price, it's really hard to beat what Rayneo is doing right now with the Air 4 Pro glasses here. We are getting so much more for what you're paying for, and even if you do go for the custom edition, they're not that much more, which for me makes it so that if you're a fan of either one, either be a Joker or Batman, make sure to pick them up before that limited edition runs out. Thank you very much to Rayneo for sponsoring this video and letting me check those glasses out and share with you guys my experiences. At the end of the day, these are things that I feel like will always augment our experiences. As long as your device supports video out over USB-C, these are going to be great. Even if you're not using all of the extra stuff with the XR stuff, at the core experience, Rayneo has basically locked it in, and now they give you so many more functional options on the glasses, so you don't even have to worry about the app most of the time. But if you really want it, it's always going to be there for you, which I really appreciate what they're doing there. So like and subscribe. Thank you very much for the support. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.